Thanks everybody for joining. We've got a few guests on, and so we're going to get started. My name is Nate Jackson here working with Stoke. We're very excited today to have Clay Warren from Adobe and Sam from Stoke on here to talk with us today. As we know, and many of you struggle with in your searches for data and making that data actionable, a lot of people prefer to have data not just in a data lake, but to have the data running and actioning directly in the tools of choice. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about Adobe Analytics and Marketo and how those two wonderful tools work more beautifully together with this audience share feature that Sam and Clay are going to talk about. Of course, Clay Warren is the principal product marketing manager at Adobe. We're glad for him to take some time out of his schedule to be with us today. And Sam is founder and CEO of Stoke Micro Integrations. And I'm going to turn it over to Sam to take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, Nate. Thanks, Clay. And thanks, everyone, for joining. This is our first time doing this at Stoke, doing one of these live sessions. And so we'd like to make it, interactive as we're going through this. So if you have any burning questions, you don't have to wait till the end. Just feel free to just send it through the chat. And we've got people looking out for those questions. So today, we're here to teach about how to get Marketo and Adobe Analytics talking. And, at the companies, in our experience, companies, they have these two different teams, right? They've got the web analytics team, they've got the marketing automation team as well. And a lot of times it seems like they're very siloed. You've got the marketing automation team doing their thing, sending out their campaigns, and then you've got the A/B testing going on the analytics team. And with Adobe Analytics and Marketo, it shouldn't be this way, especially since these are owned by the same company, Adobe. And Nate mentioned we have Clay on the call, who is the principal product manager for Adobe Analytics. We're here with us today, and because they're owned by the same company, Adobe has built some awesome functionality to get these two systems talking to each other from a data perspective. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. How to set that up is very easy. And before I go into the benefits of why you should set up this sync, Clay, do you have any thoughts or anything you'd like to say before I continue on?
Sure. No, thanks, Sam. Yeah, I think the intersection between marketing automation and analytics, it's like what you have on the screen. It is a big deal. Increasingly, brands are looking to ingest additional information, whether I'm the marketing analyst, I'm trying to better understand my audience, I'm trying to deep dive into behaviors of my audiences and understand how to build segments, whether at a company or a brand level, for exactly as you're pointing here, to drive, as consumers expect, more personalized experiences. Whether I'm in a B2B or a B2C industry, personalization is key, and having a value-based relationship with your consumers is key. Experience is the differentiator. And as you mentioned, this has been a big challenge. If I'm on the marketing automation side, a lot of our customers who are using Marketo today are yearning to have more behavioral data ingested into Marketo and to understand. So I'll pass it back to you, Sam, but I think that's a good tee up.
Awesome. Yep. I mean, that's been our experience as well, Clay. We've got Marketo teams. They want better scores, better scoring, and better smart lists. And in order to do that, they're looking for these better digital behavioral signals that are captured in other systems very easily, but not necessarily inside of Marketo. But on the Adobe Analytics side, we also see a similar type of need for more de-anonymized data, right? Not all visitors are created equal. They want to know which ones are, from a targeted account at a certain stage of the sales funnel, etc. So let's go into how to set up this audience sharing. Let me just hop out of the PowerPoint, and I'm going to jump here into the instructions. So I'll go ahead and send this to everyone on the presentation, so you could have this link. But this is very easy. So this is initiated from inside of Marketo. So if you're a Marketo admin, you can do this. So you log into Marketo and you're going to click on the admin cog, and then you're going to notice this new link that's available, Adobe Organization Mapping. So if you click on that link, This is where you're going to set your Adobe org ID. And, on this link, it has, has steps here on how to find that if you don't know how to. But normally you could log into the admin console. It's going to be, it's part of the URL once you're logged into the admin console. So you copy and paste that org ID right here. You click OK. And then once you click confirm, once you click confirm, it's going to have this one final prompt. And once you click close here, you're gonna log into Adobe Analytics. And so this is really the last step. All you have to do is log in, and you just have to make sure, as it says here, you must be an org admin for the Adobe organization that you want to map to. So, that's the steps. As it says down here at the bottom, you can now share audience data or sync an audience from Experience Cloud. Let me pause here. I'm gonna pop back into the PowerPoint. So what's happening behind the scenes? Like once you've done this, now what's happening is anytime someone comes to your site, Adobe's ID, which is the EC ID, and Marketo's ID, a person ID, those are going to be synced up now. Anytime someone comes to your site and Marketo's on your webpage, Adobe's on your webpage, you'll be able to know inside of Marketo, the corresponding visitor ID for a person ID inside of Marketo. And that's what I call integration magic. For those of you who've ever tried to do like any types of VLOOKUPs in Excel or SQL joins, it's the exact same principle here. You need a common key in both places to do the integration. And this is really the magic. It's awesome. Like we've seen, for the companies we've helped to set this up, we've seen the match rates go up by as much as, from 30% all the way to 10x, right? If you get all of your Marketo leads in your database, we've seen, 30% to 10x being able to match back to Adobe UCIDs using this simple, feature that we just went through. Any thoughts, Clay, or Nate?
Ben, let's talk about some of the use cases. Even if you were to back up one slide, if I'm perhaps I live in the marketing automation world, how can I use this data? How are some of your customers using this integration today?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, I mean, we've got marketing automation teams, who've come to us. They want to do better scoring, right? All they can see inside of Marketo is anytime someone visits a page. But we had one team, they wanted to be able to reach out to those who had like abandoned an RFQ form on their website. It's worth like millions of dollars of pipeline to them anytime someone abandons. And they didn't have any data to be able to trigger off of this inside of Marketo to be able to send them like a save email, for example. So, I mean, that's one powerful example right there of being able to get this digital data from Adobe into Marketo. And then, yeah, we've got web teams as well, who are trying to pull this type of data back into Adobe Analytics, right? They want better segmenting. We have one customer. They've got this list of targeted accounts, and they need to show that their content and their efforts are making a difference, with the targeted accounts and with certain job titles within those targeted accounts. They have no way of doing that, without setting up an integration like this. And so, this is.
Can I pause you right there, Sam? Even
Yep.
if you were to, that is such a critical aspect. If I'm the analyst, and if you go back one slide, I may be tasked with making strategic business recommendations on the industries we should be targeting with our marketing campaigns, or maybe even in our marketing automation campaigns. What job titles we should be targeting. Here at Adobe, that's a common question within our demand generation teams is who is converting, what leads are coming in, but what are they doing on the website and the mobile app or on the mobile web? Once they submit a form, how do we re-engage them? What are what are the leads that accelerate through a sales pipeline the fastest? Being able to track some of those KPIs at a title, at an industry level, that is critical insight to help accelerate your lead generation, your demand gen, increase pipeline, and increase bookings.
Yeah, I think
Absolutely.
that's key information. And you know what we find with clients, let's think for a second of dispelling some myths, right? If you're a marketing or digital marketing leader, somebody who has to get this data, sometimes your team tells you, well, I can get that to you, but I can get it, you know, in 7 days or 10 days, or it'll take me some time. The fact is, not only is this easy to set up and can be set up quickly, but the fact that you're going to have this data at your fingertips to create segments right out of Adobe Analytics and to do that sort of faster action, you're going to get results when the timing is right. You know, often marketers get frustrated with getting the analytics fast enough or soon enough, and this is one of those cases where you're going to get it and be able to act on it quickly.
Awesome. Yeah, I agree. I think marketers today, just taking a step back, like marketing's so noisy, because if you don't have the right data, like that's what happens. And so you do an integration like this, you're just a lot more precise. And so this is an analysis workspace, and you'll notice like this variable here that we've pulled in is company name that's coming from Marketo, tied to the visitor. It's pretty cool. And now you can see a breakdown of engagement by some of your targeted accounts, and you can create segments off of these, push those to other parts of the Experience Cloud. There's a lot of really powerful use cases for personalization here, and also for closed loop reporting. Yep, this is another one. You'll notice you've got job title from Marketo. This is all first party data coming directly into your analysis workspace. You've got, these lead statuses that are happening inside of Marketo as events, here inside of analysis workspace. You've got AQL and MAL, and you can see, more of that full funnel, how everything is trickling down to where it really matters, to the close. This is another thing that you can do now. You can log into Marketo if you have a list, a static list inside of Marketo, and you want that to be an audience inside of Adobe Analytics or in the Experience Cloud. That's very easy now with some of the functionality that Adobe has built. Yep. Let's talk about going back the other direction, sending Adobe Analytics data into Marketo Engage. These are some of the these are some of the main data points that we see companies sending over. PDF downloads, video views, etc. Really any event that you're tracking inside of Adobe Analytics, which is so powerful to track behaviors, you can send that over into a custom activity inside of Marketo. And so you'll get, this is an example of an activity log. You'll notice that row that's highlighted, that's PDF downloads. That's something that Marketo doesn't do out of the box, but with the audience sync in place and with the data integration, you can do that. We had mentioned smart lists before. You can make your smart list smarter because you've got all these new data points at your disposal. You don't want to just send out some sort of cookie campaign to anyone who's been to my site, right? But now if you want to say, hey, anyone who's downloaded, all 3 of these PDF downloads from this series and who has viewed this video, within the last 7 days, now we're getting pretty powerful to be able to, strike when the iron's hot inside of Marketo. This is the best kept secret, like one of the best kept secret that Adobe has right now. Not a lot of companies know about this, and that's why we're putting on this live session to spread the word, because the more companies that do this, we feel it's going to be better for the industry as a whole. They're going to be getting that data that they've been hungry for, more of a customer 360 data set, but inside of your tools, inside of Marketo, inside of Adobe Analytics. Nate, Clay, you guys have any?
Sam, tell us where Stoke comes into play, because this is a cool feature that Adobe has built, the audience sync, but Stoke plays a big part in this. How so?
So at Stoke, we have what's called our micro integrations, and really we're the solution on the market that gets data from one system to another. So you want Marketo data inside of Adobe, we have a micro integration for that. You want Adobe data into Marketo, we also have a micro integration for that. And so we feel that the practitioners, those who are actually using the tools, in the sales and marketing journey, like they need this data at their fingertips. And so that's where Stoke comes into play.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. We get this question that says, how long does this take to connect up? Well, and frankly, Sam, you're saying once you go through those steps that you listed from the webpage there, this can be running same day, right? So you could be seeing data the next day. What Stoke does, in addition to help set up this Adobe feature, is we help to make that connection throughout the system, like Sam's saying. So if you want that Adobe data into Marketo, that clickstream data that's important to you and your customers and their behavior and making smarter smart lists, that's what we help do. And the question came up, how long does that take? Well, that can be done in 2 days. And the reason we say 2 days is we set that up with the teams with those permissions, and then we let it run a day and test it. So it's really a 48-hour session and doesn't take 4, 6, 8 months like you typically think of an integration. This is something that can be done very quickly.
Right. Do we have any other questions come through?
Let's see. The only other question I can see is, and you're going to address it right here, Sam, it looks like, with this, what else is involved in terms of this functionality? So go ahead and cover that point there, Sam.
Yeah, so this is kind of our summary slide here, but really, it goes back to the setup that we demoed. I'm gonna put this in the chat before I forget.
Oh yeah, great.
This is what everyone should set up, if they're thinking about integration now or in the future. You really should get this set up. I mean, if there's any takeaway, please do this today, because it's free. This is offered from Adobe. This is Adobe's newest feature. Super powerful to be able to sync the data between the two systems. The faster you set it up, the more you get that history that starts building up. And that's one of the big questions we get whenever we set up a new customer. Oh, can we go back and get all the past historical data? And the question is no. Like, you can only get what you have. And so we recommend you turn this on as soon as you can, so that you can at least have this history collecting. We also showed you there is some out of the box functionality that Adobe offers. You can go into Marketo, you can push a list into Adobe. We recommend you guys go, if you have Marketo, you have Adobe Analytics, test it out. It's awesome and it's for free. You don't have to worry about it. And then, yeah, like if you guys want to pass more data, like if you're looking to pass this type of data, these variables and these events from Marketo into Adobe, that's where our team can come in and we can talk to you about how to set that up. If you want to go the other way, pushing the Adobe data, into Marketo, the Stoke team can also help set that up. So,
okay,
yeah.
Great. Those are the questions we have. As Sam mentioned in the beginning, we will be doing follow-up sessions monthly to continue this conversation and dig deeper into some of these micro integrations that get the most out of these tools of choice that you're using. And special thanks to Clay for joining today. Clay, anything else you want to add?
No, thank you guys. Thanks for being a great partner to Adobe, and specifically to Adobe Analytics. And yeah, I think this is great.
Okay, thank you, Clay. Sam, anything else to wrap up?
Nope, I think we're good. Thank you all for your time, and yeah, we'll talk to you guys next time.
Great. Feel free to reach out to us, nate@thestokegroup.com, if you have questions. Thanks for your time, and we look forward to sharing more in these data integrations.
Thanks
Take
again.
care.
Thanks, everyone.